Welcome, everyone. This presentation is on Securely Home. My name is Lorna Gilmore, and I am a family partnership specialist.
And my name is Erica Monroe, and I am an instructional technology specialist within the district.
This presentation is to help our families better understand what is Securely Home. Securely Home provides families the ability to manage their students' school laptop while at home. Just note, you cannot override the school of concern, setting alerts so parents can be notified about the sites that the students are visiting, establishing rules for the internet while your child is at home, setting offline schedules for your child during non-school hours or hours not set by the school, pausing the internet with a push of a button, and viewing activity reports. So who has access to Securely Home? And the answer is all families or students in grades 6 through 12 in the IST have access to Securely Home. That is, if the parent is listed under Family 1 or Family 2 in Family Access, Skyward Family Access, they can access Securely Home. To do so, they will have to visit the website, securely.com, and they can set up Securely Home on either their computer or a mobile device. To get started on a computer, you can go to securely.com, hover over the login and click on Home. Then go to Get Instant Access and enter the email as listed in your Family 1 or Family 2 in Skyward. Again, it's only for the emails listed in Family Access under Family 1 or Family 2. Those parents have access. Those emails have access to Securely Home. On your mobile device, you are first going to download the Securely Home app. Then you're going to click on Get Started. You're going to, again, use the email address as listed in Family Access. Click on Get Instant Access, and you will be able to set up your account with that information. This is what the home screen looks like when you log in and when you first start the navigation process. This is mainly, we're going to do most of this based on what the home screen looks like on a mobile device. Erica, can you tell us more?
Yeah, and we're going to start with stories, and then we'll go over all the other features. We'll zoom in on stories first. It really allows you to quickly see, as you can see at the top of the screen, summaries of your child's recent online activity. Just like on any like Instagram or Facebook, you can swipe left to advance, or you can swipe right to go back to see that recent history. If there's a lot of content to view, a link will appear at the bottom of the screen to view more. So notice how it says at the bottom, view all educational activities. And this is updated daily at 4 p.m. And when we get to the notifications, you can get an email about when those are updated and kind of see an overview. The next section is flagged activities. And I want to reiterate that flag activities are just for self-harm or bullying. So it's looking for things like typing in when they're online, they're looking for self-harm or looking for bullying websites or information. That is what will pop up for being flagged. And it gives you a glimpse into potentially serious activities that relate to your child's well-being. So again, flagged are only for self-harm or bullying. It's not for gaming or anything like that. It's only those two categories, but you can see everything in all of the activities. So next step is looking at the activity feed, and that gives you all activities that were done. when a student was logged into their school device. So the feed shows online activity in real time, starting with the most recent. So it goes from most to older. Each activity displays the URL, the content category, date, time, and if the child was using an email or not. So you can actually click into it and you can go to those websites if you need to see more. If you have multiple students or children, you can filter by kiddo. You can see all of the kids at once. You can also filter. There are ways to filter by specific types of activities, or you can search by using the search bar at the top. You click search, and you can type in a website and click search and see if that website comes up. This is also great to look at for maybe the future of when we get to the blocking part. If you see a site that's maybe on there a lot, on the activity feed a lot, and you're like, wow, this doesn't seem very educational, that might be a good place for you to start when you build a blocking plan at home. So that brings us right into some specific rules. Before we talk about setting rules up for the child's device, I want to talk about Securely Classroom. Securely Classroom, we have times at the schools, both middle school and high school, and you cannot really interfere with that time. So if you're blocking stuff, it might be unblocked during the school Securely Classroom times.
And
Middle
Erica,
school, oh, yes.
I'm just going to interrupt and just remind families that in school, all teachers have access to something called Securely Classroom. So each teacher during the school hours can monitor what websites the students are going and lock the kids out of certain other screens, especially when they're taking a test or they're doing some research or an assignment, just to help them keep them focused. And so teachers at school have access and are using Securely Classroom. And Securely Home is something for parents to use that is a separate app for parents.
Yes, thank you. So for middle schools, Securely Classroom, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday is on from 7:30 to 4:15. And again, like Lorna shared, teachers and schools have control over what can be accessed during that time. So if there's a test going on, maybe the student's only allowed to have access to Canvas, and that's it. On Wednesday, it's from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. for middle school. For high school, we have 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The reason why it's a little bit longer is because we have test retakes or after school work or before school work to allow students to have the opportunity to retake tests in a secure environment. And then on Wednesdays, it's from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And in Securely Classroom, again, we can block specific sites, websites. We set rules in the classroom as a teacher and an overarching theme of like we have some pieces turned on where students can't access sites that might be harmful. So at home and outside of those hours as specified on the last slide, you can allow and block site category, specific types of site categories. Note that some categories have already been locked by the school or by the district to always be blocked to prevent access. So you'll notice if it says school setting, those are already blocked. You can't turn them on or off because they're already on. The categories tab also allows you to block or allow predefined categories with one tap, which is shown right up there. And they will be inaccessible on the child's device at home. The category tab also offers settings for popular websites like Google Safe Search and YouTube Safe Video to toggle on or off. You can, in your rules, you can add websites as well. So if you are wanting to block YouTube or you are wanting to block maybe gambling, if your student's been gambling, you are allowed to type in that URL If you noticed on the activity feed that there was a site coming up constantly, you can add that site to your block list. So to do that, you just type in the URL up above and click enter, and it will enter it in like below. Like we have the gambling.com and poker.com. If for some reason you're like, oh, well, now like this site no longer needs to be blocked, all you need to do is tap the X icon beside that specific URL. You can search and create or enable video settings. So ISD has turned on and enables safe search and video. We have also turned on settings to scan keywords on major websites to ensure that students are always displayed safe search results. So those are all school settings. It looks like you are able to, or some of those are school settings. Setting offline schedules. So this feature allows you as a guardian to set times to disable the internet, not the computer, just the internet access on a child's school issued device. This feature can be used for bedtime or family time to encourage breaks from a specific device. The bedtime setting allows parents or guardians to create a custom offline schedule. This is something that you will want to chat with your student about or with your kiddo about that schedule, and I'll let Lorna kind of go into it a little bit more.
Yes, this is one of my favorite features because sometimes kids might want to stay up late and do homework or work on assignments. One of the biggest things parents tell us is, oh, but the assignments are due at midnight, and so my child tells me they need to stay up, till midnight to do the assignment. Please note that teachers and schools are not expecting your child to stay up till midnight. It is very often a default setting because many of the kids are working on assignments late, or they might be in activities that are turning it in late. But you are going to have that conversation with your child as to what is the latest they can submit an assignment. And then make sure you let your child know if you have turned on this feature. Because sometimes we've noted that some parents have turned on this feature, their children don't know about it. And then when the child is trying to submit the assignment, they're unable to submit the assignment because this just stops their internet from working. It doesn't stop them from working on the Word document or the PowerPoint or the worksheet the teacher has given them. So very often they're working on an assignment offline, and when it comes for them to submit the assignment, they may not be able to do it. So make sure you have a conversation as to when you're turning off the their internet and scheduling their bedtime, so they know if they cannot submit it after a certain time and they'd have to submit it the next day, and how that might impact the deadline of the assignment the teacher has given.
Yes, and you can do that for school nights, and you can also set a custom schedule for weekends as well, or day by day. You also have the option to pause just the internet, not the child's full device, but you can pause the internet at any time to or not during the school hours, but anytime when home is being used. You can pause the internet to allow parents to temporarily disable the internet on your student's or your child's school issued device. By tapping the pause button at the bottom of the screen, it will bring up a list of all of your kids, and you can pause by clicking the toggle switch to turn it on. So notice how Riley Brown has it on, but Alex and Morgan have it off. So you can pause for your one specific child or all of them at the same time. You can click all profiles at the top to pause them all. The More menu has some additional features. So you can set your notifications, change your password, schedule your time zone, and so forth. Notifications allows you to get different types of alerts with your email. So enabling flagged activities will alert your device when the activity is indicating bullying or self-harm. You can enable the story reminder, which will send you an email at the end of the day. And then also activity emails that sends you a student's online activity from the week.
And for me, I like to use this feature because I get emails since I've set up my notifications to get emails and shows me what websites my child has been visiting periodically. So parents, you have the option of going into the app and checking the stories as in what websites they've been visiting, or you can get information passively by having emails sent to you with these stories or the websites that the kids are using. So you can do both. And the way to get them passively through emails is by setting up the story reminder in notification.
One thing I forgot to mention too is those flagged activities and story does come from during the school day too. So you can see what your kid is doing during the school day. You just can't block them live in that moment when they are working during those school hours, as mentioned earlier. There is another option for frequently asked questions. So it goes over into more specifics of what is the activity feed, what are flagged activities, how are stories different than the activity feed, how can I allow or block sites on my student's device or my kid's device, and then how do I schedule an internet offline time. So if you were like, I need a little bit more, you can click on that and get some more support.
And for more information, here are some resources for you. Our school district has a technology page with a lot of information to help parents and support their child being safe. We also have linked the site for the 6 through 12 responsible use agreement. All families click that they have signed and seen this document in August during the enrollment verification process, but just in case you want to look at it again, we have included the link to that resource on the website. The CNET article, How to Set Up and Use Your Wi-Fi Router's Parental Controls, is a really great resource for parents, and it gives some instructions so that you can set up your Wi-Fi so that your child is safe while using your Wi-Fi at home. In addition, we have a telephone online tech support in Washington State for families, and the Common Sense Media, some article reviews and articles for families on keeping their children safe. If you have questions about Securely, there are a couple options. The question is regarding Securely itself and tech safety, please don't hesitate to call the school administrator, the principal, assistant principal, and have a chat about that. If you're having questions or concerns and you're not sure how to set up Securely, how to use Securely, please contact your family liaison. Each school in the district has a family liaison. It's on the website. The link is on here. We will also link, if you go to Family Partnership on the website, you will be able to find the link to the liaison and you can look at the site. And then finally, if it's about Securely, some kind of questions about Securely, the Securely is not blocking sites for some reason or something about that, please reach out to Securely directly at that number and email. If there's an issue with your child's school device, please contact the school office and the office will direct you to the technology specialist assigned to that school who can better help you from there. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We are your partners in making sure your child is safe at school.
Thank you.